Yo, 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 what's going on? What's happening, everyone? Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all thriving in this world that we're living in. I'm just over here, just over here chilling, just over here, just combing, just slicking the hair back over here. I just slicked it back for you guys. Figured I'd freshen it up a bit. Know what I'm saying? So what's going on? Has everybody been watching the vids? I noticed I got some views. I noticed I got a lot of views on that feminism one. How feminism is bad for women. Gee, I can't believe it. So I'm about to just like do some YouTube analytics type shit. Just looking at the vids that got a lot of views, and I'm gonna do some like Gary V type stuff and be like, oh, okay, that vid got a lot of views. Maybe I should try to capitalize on that. Maybe I should give the market what they demand, right? Mm. Okay, so whatever, I can talk on that topic. Like I mentioned before, once I came back from that year sabbatical, I had a lot to say on this type of stuff, on this type of like feminism, whatever, like masculinity development, this all type of stuff. So, yeah, whatever, I can talk about that for a while. It's like, hopefully eventually it can get into more like fun stuff, more like positivity, more like talking about interesting things. But maybe for a while this is something I need to talk about. Whatever. Okay, I can do it. It's a bit negative sometimes, but I'm gonna try to like make it fun if I can and make it positive because I think we need more of that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe some people didn't understand that about like uh, whatever feminism, if you want to call it that. It's really just like our like mainstream society, what it's become, right? Like it's not for your benefit, bro. It's not for your benefit. Like as a young man, dude, no, like you're not gonna be served by that type of shit. And it's not like some crazy conspiracy by these like shape-shifting reptilians or some Illuminati fucking interdimensional fucking you know the Bilderberg group or some shit. Like, I mean, who knows? Actually, maybe it might be. I don't know, but I don't even think so. It's just like a general fucking way that it's just easier to control people, man. It's just easier to like shepherd people along and just like kind of like get them to do what you want and keep them kind of dull so they pay their taxes and buy like beer and some stupid truck that they don't need, and they keep voting for dickhead fucking politicians and they don't rock the boat, man. It's just generally easier. And like an actual gangster, man, that's just too difficult to. It's just not good for business. It's just hard to control that guy. They don't want some fucking Davy Crockett, fucking John Wayne character. They don't want everybody being like, if there were like really an actual large proportion of like man on his purpose, it would disrupt things. It would be harder for them to like control us all and like shepherd you along, just into the next like stupid fad for you to spend your money on the next retarded thing, or really originally it was just to make it easier for you to march off to war, right? That's a lot of what it is. Like, and our society, make no mistake, it's still like the fundamental drivers is still warfare, right? Like that's still our major industry is weapons and warfare, and we're still driven by that to a large degree, right? And that just is, it's in our nature as well. But see, also like they need some they need some gangster men, they need some warriors, right? But we segment them and we parcel them out and we allow them into combat, or we put them into like major league sports. A lot of what we do now, we jack some dude all up on fucking juice and fucking warfare mentality, and then we just send him off out onto some football field for a couple of years, and he'll sustain some traumatic brain injury after a while, and then we just park him on some pills and you get rid of him. It's still fucked up. Like, so it's just part again of like this broader kind of picture where we just like fundamentally disrespect men and masculinity, just wholesale. in our society, we just fucking disregard it. Like, it's just perfectly acceptable in our current Western 21st century society, particularly in the last like 5 to 10 years, especially. It is just 100% acceptable to fucking disrespect men, disregard them, demean them, belittle them, fucking shame them. Like, there is no repercussions fucking at all for doing that. Like, it's encouraged. And why not, like, let's just at least accept that. Like, let's just, or maybe not accept it, but at least acknowledge it. Like, that's for sure what we're living in. Like if you went to like Victorian age England in like 1872, yeah, it was like pretty well established that you could just like, boss your wife around and tell her to fucking sew you a new pair of socks, or like, like commit her to an insane asylum if if she spoke up or something. It was just completely acceptable to do that. That was the fucking time they were living in. Now we know that's fucked up and stupid, so we don't do it. But mind you, just a little side point there. I actually think back then you weren't. This is a little bit of a side point, but I would actually argue that there was a lot more cooperation back then too. In some ways, I would say the husband and wife were cooperating in a lot of ways. Weirdly enough, maybe that's a topic for another day. Maybe comment on that shit if anyone has any ideas, but maybe that's interesting. Not to glorify it. I'm sure there was a lot of fucking chaos and mayhem, and half the people had the bubonic plague and shit, so it wasn't a glorified age. But anyway, back to today, it's like completely acceptable. Yeah, you can just demean fucking men, like just shame them, just shame a man. Fucking full steam ahead, and there's just like, it's just perfectly acceptable. And so it's the same, like, if you grew up in like whatever, like in the South, in the United States, southern states in like the 1950s, you could just wholesale disrespect like African American people. Like, you could just tell them not to sit in a part of the bus, or that they couldn't come to this restaurant or sit at that table. It was just perfectly acceptable. Fucking perfectly fine to do that, and just like encouraged. It was this common practice. So at that time, in that place, it was really well accepted and well established to be just racist to that group of people. We know that now. We look at it and we're like, oh, at that time, in that place, it was fully accepted to be racist against African Americans. We know that. Now, I mean, of course, there's still some racism going on and stuff, but at least we acknowledge, we're like, okay, that's fucking stupid. Like, we should try to stop it. It's dumb. Okay, so we know that. So we know in like 1872, it was fine to be to fucking demean, to be sexist towards women. We know that. We know in the 1950s it was fine in the southern states to be racist towards fucking black people. In whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, all types of that shit. In fucking Europe in the 1940s, in Germany, you could be anti-Semitic against Jewish people, or fucking gypsies, or all the different groups that they didn't like. At that time, it was perfectly acceptable. And everyone was just going along with it, right? Now we can look at it and we know better. It was stupid. In our society now, we chose to do it towards men, just broadly. Don't matter if you're fucking black or white or Asian or fucking whatever, Latino, Middle Eastern, all of it. Like, it's just generally speaking, we at this time have chosen like a man, like, to fucking demean and just be sexist now towards men. It's acceptable now. So like, let's try, I think, during this time to like actually catch it as we're doing it. Like, let's not wait several decades. Like, in several decades from now, of course, they will look at this time and be like, yeah, at that time we were sexist towards men. We were demeaning them all the time and shaming them, and that's what we were doing. But let's try to just catch it now. Like, let's just try to acknowledge it now. Be like, oh, we should stop being so stupid now. And that can help us, right? Like, I'm not saying that there's no, like, of course there's still, like, sexism towards women in other ways, or there's still racism towards different races. And, like, yeah, there is that too. So let's try to work on those as well. The one I'm speaking to particularly, and the thing that I'm trying to, maybe I can help, is I'm saying, hey, like, we're belittling and demeaning, especially just young men, for being men. Like we're feminizing them, and it's fucking them up. Like we're super bad. Like it's really fucking them up bad. And it's fucking our society up, right? It's not good for anyone. And that's why, like in that other vid, I talked about how feminism is bad for women. Like it's not good for them either. Like what the fuck? Like it's bad for them, okay? They're not interested at all in some beta feminized weakling. How is that good for them? It's like, yeah, they can like meh, 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 like shame him down a bit, but after a while they're gonna get tired of that. And they're gonna be like, okay, but where's an actual man that I can like get married to or at least have a fun time with? Well, she can't find that. How is that good for her? So she's all got all these pairs of shoes, all these dresses, all this fucking friends who are asked, why don't you have a boyfriend? Why don't you have a husband? Why don't you have a man? Blah, blah, blah. And she's got all this pressure on her, but she can't even find one because they already feminized and fucking bedded all the men. And so it's not good for her. So then she starts getting shamed by her friends. Oh, Jenny can't find a man. Oh, Jenny can't this. It's because Jenny's that and blah, blah, blah. And now it's just hurting her. You can't have a society that doesn't have fucking men. Are you crazy? And this is just obvious. This is just basic fucking common sense fucking evolutionary biology. Like it's just so obvious. But the mainstream now, like which is like totally a part of the whole like feminist fucking establishment, these fucking these people think that like, man, they think that like they think men are like nothing, like almost like they're just like they think men are like barely fucking tolerable creatures. It's like, oh sorry, like men invented like everything there is. And they just act like that's nothing. That would be like you. That would be like a man just disregarding women for like giving birth to all the people. It's like, oh, did you know that every single person ever was given birth to by a woman? Like, what an accomplishment! Wow, that's incredible. But rather, if you were just like, that's stupid. I don't care. They're worthless. Look how fucking dumb that is. It's like we have to appreciate people for what they are. Like we have to appreciate the women for what they are. And they are so much. Like they have so much amazing features, right? It's just not a lot of them in our current society. We don't accentuate their great features. we try to be like, that's right, girl. That's right, girl. You can be the president, or like you can be a fucking doctor. You can run a company. It's like we try to act like that's their main feature. It's like, the fuck? I mean, like, yeah, you can do that if you want. Like, go ahead. But that's we act like that's like some major, massive accomplishment. It's like, what the fuck? This is some random thing. Like, some dude could have done that too. It's like, who cares? Let either one of them. It's nothing. It's like, the women have so much more to offer than like just, basically all they're trying to do is like replace the man with a woman. Like, oh, you can be a doctor just like him. You can be a lawyer just like him. And that's a big accomplishment. I would argue it's like, gives a fuck. Like, do it if you want, if you really feel drawn to it. That's great. I certainly wouldn't want her to not be allowed, like, because she's a woman. That's crazy. Like, of course, let them if they feel like it. But it's like, that's not, for the most part, going to be like the absolute like most effective use of her like time and energy. Like that's probably not like leveraging all of her assets in the exact way that would be optimal. Maybe for some, but why, so it's kind of leading them astray too, I would argue. But anyway, that's a little bit of another point, maybe for another day. But yo, a little other thing, little tidbit of info for you here. Okay, so for now, we're kind of talking a lot just to the young men. That's like a lot of who this is geared toward. Hopefully, maybe some girls will hear this too and be like, holy shit, that guy's onto something. I need to find me a cool guy who thinks like that and help me learn better. That would be dope too. So good for her. And then her life will improve. And she'll have access to better shit. And she'll be paired up with a cool guy. And the two of them can do better together. That's player shit. That's how it works. So good for her. And by the way, that's what she should be doing anyway. Finding a cool guy who knows this shit and just learning that knowledge. That's her best play. Anyway, but for the dudes, this is mainly to the dudes, young dudes, bro, I'm gonna tell you a little secret, bro. Little fucking secret. You're not gonna figure it out on your own, bro. You're not gonna randomly figure this out on your own. You're not just gonna haphazardly, fucking randomly figure out how to like get on your purpose as a man and produce the most value you can and then make that palatable to fucking hot women. Like that process I just described there, you figuring that out on your own, that's fucking not gonna happen. Okay? That's like you randomly figuring out how to build an iPhone in your basement with some random fucking wires and components that you bought at the hardware store. And you're just in your basement like hammering some components together. You're like, is this an iPhone? No, dude, it's not. You're fucking up and wasting your time. It's too complicated. It's too difficult. It's too fucking challenging. You need to get the proper mentors. We're evolved to grow in tribes. Ever heard of Dunbar's numbers? We're evolved to grow in tribes of like 150 to 175 people. That's the tribe we build. So the older fucking experienced gangster hunter men, they show the younger generation. Because they know the younger generation is too fucking stupid to figure it out on their own. It's going to take them too long. You're going to be like your whole life trying to learn how to shoot a bow. By then it's too late. Everyone's dead. Instead, they just show that young warrior or that young hunter, this is how you shoot a bow. Good, you got it? Cool. Okay, here's the next thing. Now you throw a spear. Okay, you got it? Now you skin the fucking animal. So in a couple years, he's got to figure it out. And he can carry on and produce more results, and the whole tribe and the whole species can move up. But for whatever reason, in our society, we stop doing that, and we just randomly think men are going to figure it out. Oh, you'll be fine. Nah, you won't be fine at all. It's going to take way too long, and that's why like so much dudes never figure it out. That's why you just see dudes who just become like they're just on fucking Twitch, or they're just playing fucking Fortnite 4 or 5 hours a day. They just took themselves right out of the gene pool, man. It's like they're just completely off the fucking charts now. They're not even in the game. They're playing Fortnite. I'm playing Fortnite. Or they just get obsessed with like watching sports. I like sports. I like watching sports and drinking beer. It's like that guy's not even in the game. He just took himself right out of the fucking dating pool. No wonder the girls are all pissed. No wonder they're all fucking annoyed. Because some poor girl got to end up with that idiot. And then she's like, man, all Joey does is watch sports. All fucking Billy does is play Fortnite and Call of Duty and blah. It's like, of course she's pissed. So she doesn't know what else to do, so she just probably just turns to fucking feminism or something. Like, nah, man, right? This is not good for anyone. Not fucking good for anyone. Jesus Christ. Okay, so the moral of the story is, the mainstream ain't gonna serve you, bro. Ain't gonna serve you. Doesn't produce results with women. Does not produce attraction in women. Does not comprehend. A young man who follows the mainstream will not produce results with women. It will not. There's not going to be attraction there. She just doesn't comprehend it. It's like there's just nothing there. She's just disregarding you until you become cool. You have to become a cool guy, cool man, cool fucking guy on his purpose. Then she's like, oh, okay, I like this guy. If you ain't that, you ain't attractive to her. And the mainstream ain't fucking that, bro. Okay? It would be like some girl just like buying magic beans and just like rubbing magic beans on her belly and being like, I hope I get pregnant. It's like, girl, no. You're not going to get pregnant by rubbing fucking magic beans on your belly. It doesn't work that way. It's impossible. That's like you, a young man, listening to fucking mainstream. My university told me this. The media told me that. I watched The View the other day and she told me this. Bro, ain't gonna work, man. So get a fucking mentor, bro. Get a fucking mentor. Right away. Right away. Immediately. Start watching cool vids. I already gave tons of examples in the other vids. If you want more examples of cool gangsters to watch, put it in the comments. Go watch Joe Rogan. Go watch fucking Jocko Willink. Watch Cam Hanes. Watch David Goggins. Watch RSD. Watch the fucking 21 convention. Watch Elliot Hulse. You know, go watch a tree. Go watch a fucking bird. Go watch a lion in nature. Okay? Watch how these fucking things operate, and then you'll start to become cool. Yeah? Boom. If you want me, young fucking Val Kilmer over here, young fucking George Clooney, a middle-aged, a middle-aged Will Smith for sure. Definitely. Yo, if you want me to help you with your shit, hit me in the comments, bro. Hit me up in the fucking comments. Hit me with an email. You know, I'll put the email down there. We'll do a coaching call. See if we can get your shit on track a little bit. I'm going to do a couple more coaching calls for free. I already did a few, but we'll throw a few more out there. And once we get them filled up, boom, no more. You can just check the bids. We'll put a little price tag on it, you know? Get some economic activity happening. Because the world runs on money, if you didn't know. All right, that's all for now. Everybody, stay cool. And peace out, bros.